Yes, Sirski! Yeah.
It worked! It worked! I finally invent something that works!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a little bit more work on the budget integra, budgeting some stuff, fixing some stuff, updating some stuff, and you're going to see something that I did find that ruined my whole day. But hey, that's part of the game when you're buying used Hondas. But further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so I'm not sure if I went over it, but I will be doing a review for the max speeding rod coilovers that I have here. I believe they're the T6. So I'll do a little drive-in review for you guys. That way, you know, test them out on, you know, drivability and everyday, you know, for those budget coilovers. Alright, so we're moving on to the wiper blades. You guys can see, I'm going to go ahead and paint those out. I'm going to make them nice and uniform. A lot of people overlook those. You know, it's like little details that matter. And then when it comes to the car, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing, but most likely just looking at it. I'm not an expert, but that sun oxidation or sun damage or whatever, or the gloss, seems like it could be polished out. So obviously the door handle was gonna have to get painted so we can paint match the rest with the car. But I am going to probably just buff it out, you know, kind of like extend the life a little bit of this poor treated paint, which, by the way, this is a 2000 LS Integra, and it was in really bad shape compared to this 92 Civic CX when I got it. I actually got this in Oregon. And then obviously here is Florida. It seems like it's just been Florida, so the sun's been damaging it. So also got it around the coast, so it could be that too. But golly, like the EG was in way better conditions. But yeah, I'm gonna see about masking some of the areas. Like you can see that little crumb. Probably putting some tape. See about painting it, making it look a little bit more uniform. So that's what I'm gonna be tasking for today. All right, so got all done, as you guys can see, all painted. And something that I uncovered because I was bleeding, I had my lovely wife, help me bleed the clutch master cylinder. And at first I thought that maybe I might have had a faulty slave, but it's not the slave. I just needed somebody to help me because I was trying to do it by myself since I don't have any help. But coming in a little bit closer, as you guys can see, it's kind of hard because of the glare. We have a faulty clutch master. I know it's hard to see, but I'll put a picture here because the glare is messing it up. But bought it brand new and turned out to have a bad seal, probably a bad piston cylinder seal inside. So another setback, always something. So I'm gonna have to get another one, and I'm probably gonna go with Dorman again because that is a Dorman. It's a B series, D series ones, same old ones. Nothing special. LS, I think a GSR or something like that. It's like, but I like the feel of it. It feels pretty good. I'm not gonna go with an S2000 because this is a budget setup, and no need to, you know, like waste tons of money. But I'm gonna get one of those again because it's leaking. It should be doing that, and I think we should be good. But yeah, that's a bummer. You know, it's always something, always a setback. But other than that, I already tested it. I didn't really do any much, but I already tested it. Went back and forth a little bit, so it's beautiful. Coming along just fine. Y'all can't forget the OG, the one that pretty much started the channel. I'm doing this little weekly or every two or whatever, whenever I remember or feel like it, turning it on because it just sits here. The registration expired as well. But there's a lot of things I want to do to it that I haven't done, and it just drives me insane. For instance, the headers are a little bit loose. The whole system exhaust was done too short, and it just makes noise. It's horrible. My axle seal right from the transmission to the axle is leaking slightly, not crazy, but it's leaking. So yeah, I have to eliminate some stuff like this. I was trying to put a pressure sensor for the gauge, and it was not working, so I was left all this crap. This one as well for the gauge, it's not working either, so I'm gonna have to clean all that up. But other than that, I just neglected the car a little bit. It's just been sitting here, but I'm gonna go ahead and compare it with the Integra budget built, and then see, you know, like pros and cons and the difference. Obviously this one I didn't really cut corners. Everything was either brand new or used, but like in really good condition. There's minor stuff that I have in there that is pretty much aftermarket. By aftermarket, I mean I'm referring to budget, cheap ones. This side is currently sitting, just kind of like a little storage unit, to be honest. I am looking at some of my old wiring or connections that I did. By the way, that's a Sparks Racing conversion harness. No issues whatsoever. It's amazing. And thank you, Chris, for putting me up to this. I don't think he deals with Hondas anymore, and I don't even know about him. But yeah, other than that, thank you, appreciate it for putting me on to that. This is how it's sitting for the most part. See, I put the white bezels. They're pretty crap. Had to cut them up, and they're like stupid. But just to save this cluster, because I do have a UKDM 140 miles per hour original clusters that are super rare. But at night I can't see anything out of these ones. That's the only thing sucky about them, and I don't think they're that accurate. But other than that, I'm sorry for not focusing, but yeah, other than that, this is how it's sitting in the interior. It's just how I first built it. Obviously I decided to go with the top mounting. You guys can see the plates. I didn't want to cut because I felt like I didn't want to butcher the car. I didn't want it to, I couldn't, it's not that I couldn't afford it, it was expensive, and I didn't want to get the no-cut shifter, so I just decided to run this budget, and it was cheap too. Other than that, this is how it's been sitting for the most part. I haven't done anything to it, to the EG. Just been collecting dust here. Yeah, I need to fix those little minor things so that way I can enjoy it a little bit more. On the urethanes for the bushings for the mounts, I believe they're 70, 72 or 70 something, and I'm not saying they're stiff, but it is like, look at the steering wheel. It's kind of hard to get it on camera, but it does shake a little bit. It's not too crazy. On the Integra I got 62s, and it's super soft. I should have gotten those for this car, because I mean, I'm not gonna hit no track anytime soon. This car is not even track prep at all. I have a feeling that once it touches a track, it's probably gonna break. But I know for a street, I wanted to get it up to par so that way I can drive a little bit more and just, you know, overall enjoy it, which I haven't really too much. But yeah, this is pretty much how the EG has been sitting. Little update. All right, so we did get the car bled. Everything came out beautifully. Everything went well. It bled amazing. I went ahead and you can see I just did my best because I didn't take the brake master out, but we do have to take the master cylinder, the clutch master cylinder out because it's leaking. Unfortunately, I did talk to the seller. I told him, hey, I know there's nothing you can do for me because it's the warranty has elapsed, but your item that I bought from you, it's a fail. It's you know, it doesn't work. And I think he already knew because he was like, oh, it's probably been in the shelf too long and the seal probably went dry. So he refunded me like half of my money back, which is, you know, appreciated of him. So that obviously good from him doing that. He didn't have to, but you know, I appreciate that. But yeah, so we got that one on the way. Should arrive today. I'm measuring axles. That's why I have it lifted. I already measured mine because this is complete insane shaft 32 on each side. This one, it's on the passenger side, it's the insane shaft, and then here it is a RSX base driver side. So from what I've read, if you're buying RSX one, you just swap them, but then you swap the inner. So essentially when you swap the inner from this one and then this one, then you swap them over, and then it should be the correct length. And from what I noticed, this one's a little bit longer and this one's a little bit shorter. So I'm guessing by swapping them, that becomes a little bit longer, therefore it doesn't pop out that easily. So I'm not sure if this one pops on people, but that's my biggest worry, that it might pop out on me. But you know, I was like, you know what, I do have my insane shaft one, so I'm gonna measure it, because I can't find any measurements online. People just they're probably gatekeeping or whatever, but there's no measurements online for this one. So I went ahead and measured it, already compressed inside, and then I'm gonna compare it to this one. I think I got roughly about 18 inches or so from end to end. So I'm gonna see how much it's on this one. I have a feeling that I should be fine. This is what I found online. I mean, even though it's an O'Reilly's, for some reason, every time I look at different aftermarket ones, like Vans and other, you know, companies, it's like AutoZone, they all have their own measurements for some reason. It's weird. They're never like exact measurements, but this one, I'm not too sure, but this is what I found online. And so I'm going off of that and then seeing, if it's close, if it's not. But I'm gonna measure it and see. But I have a feeling this one, it's probably not gonna pop out like I think it's going to. And then I was watching that dude in blue. He got an Integra, and then obviously he went to High Racing, and they put, I don't even think they swapped the inner inside. They just put RSX base on it, and he ended up, that one in the passenger side ended up popping out on him, stripping the half shaft. This is old, by the way. You can catch these. There's a whole playlist on it. And you know, he had to swap them all out with the correct ones. But you know, I was reading that if you swap the inners, like the joints, CV joints, whatever, and then you swap them over, you should be fine. That's like the best budget setup that you can get. So I am completely bummed out on, and I found out. You guys can see if you, like, you can't see inside in there. It's all rusted out, and there's a big old hole. All this side right here is rusted, and there's a hole. It ate all the way through that metal. So yeah, it's always something, man. Always something. That's what I get for not knowing too much on buying it. This Integra cost me $27, and it was in decent condition, but I mean, for the year, I think it was neglected a lot. It probably sat under sun, a lot of sun. It was outside. You can tell this didn't see no garage. This was outside a lot, and it was in the bay, because I got this in St. Petersburg, which is by Tampa. So, you know, self to note: do not buy a car if it's close to the ocean. And yeah, and it's I mean, overall, I am going to save the money. I think it's going to cost me a lot. If there's any body shop personnel that watch my videos and are local to me or close, let me know. I'm probably going to save my money, because I mean, it's worth saving. The Integra is worth saving. Everything else, I've done so much to the car, and I want to keep it. It's worth saving. So if I can find a place that can fix that for me, you know, take all that rust out, you know, and then seal it properly, that way it won't happen again, you know, I'll appreciate it. But right now there's a big old hole in on the back, so like I don't think I'm going to be driving it far like I thought I was, unless I seal it up where I can't even open the hatch in the back, so that way the water doesn't go through it or goes inside. But yeah, that's already prone to more rust as it is, and I already ate through the whole metal. And the reason I knew is because I have a spray. Sorry for this clip being long, but I have a spray that eats up rust. And I've used it in a couple spots, and it came out pretty good, and it, you know, cleans up well. And you know, I saw that rust spot in that inside, so I sprayed it in there, not thinking it was going to be that bad. And I ate through the paint on the roof, and then on top of that, it ate all the rust. So and therefore, when I started cleaning it, it just broke off, and then I saw the big old hole in there. But I don't know if the camera caught it, because the sun glare is stupid crazy and it's super hot. But yeah, we're back at it. Amazon just came through. They delivered my Excetti, so I decided to go with an Excetti because I wanted to go with a Dorman, but I've heard really bad things about Dorman, so decided just to go with Excetti. You know, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. And already went ahead and removed it. You can see I do need this, and I am missing one, which probably fell somewhere in the bottom. But yeah, and then we have the defective one right over here. You guys can see it. We have to take the reservoir out, and yeah, it was leaking from inside here. As you guys can see, it's all stained and wet, and the reason why I know it's a seal, because look how black this is. You guys can see it. It has sediments in there. You guys see? And that's from the seal itself. It just disintegrated. And as I was bleeding it just shredded and went through. You can see in there. Yeah. So we're gonna install a steady one. Hopefully no issues. That's a used slave, but so far it's been putting in the work. It's been good. It did show a little bit signs of leaking. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because I was messing with the boot. Maybe the boot wasn't fully seated, but it wasn't leaking or anything. I just saw it was just kind of like a little wet spot, and something that I'm still bummed out about. I mean, I know I can get a repair. I just need a body shop. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be expensive, but let me see if I can show you guys. See that again? Oh my god. And it's kind of running through all through here. That right there has me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But I'm pretty sure I could get fixed. It sucks because I can't really drive it if it's gonna rain. Obviously water's gonna pour in there, and rust is just gonna amplify it and get worse. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna have to look into, and it sucks. It sucks as I wanted to enjoy the Integra a little bit more, but I mean, I know on the bright side it's fixable. On the other hand, I don't know how much it's gonna be, but that alone was probably gonna cost me no sleep. But yeah, it's always gonna be something, so it's part of the game. I do have to mock here again, so I can see it is kind of touching there, and I'm gonna see where I have to actually cut in order for the power steering pump to clear, and that way I can close the hood. And to be honest, I was just gonna try to polish it, and then bring back the paint a little bit, and kind of just savor it that way it is. But once I saw that, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna polish the car, because it has a lot of oxidation. Back there it's ridden with rust, and I don't know how bad it is, but hopefully it's repairable. Hopefully it won't cost me an arm and a leg, because obviously a lot of welding is gonna have to go into that. Probably gonna have to take the headliner out, and then obviously I don't have a second person, but probably take the trunk out, and then that way you can actually access that better. Scrape all that rust out, and then start welding in the new metal, and then sealing it, curing it, obviously prepping it for that way when rust doesn't go through again. But that's the only thing I can think that I've noticed from the chassis. I never noticed that. I saw a little bit of rust. I thought it was just superficial. I didn't know it was that deep, that it went through all the layers. But good that I found that out now rather than later, because later it could have been worse. It doesn't seem, once I peeked through the hole, it doesn't seem like it went through worse than what it is. But who knows, until somebody, a professional, actually looks at it. Also, inside here, trying to tackle a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. I'm trying to run my wiring diagram, trying to find something online that way, because this is pin incorrect. I keep getting a DTC for the primary TOL sensor, so there's something pinned here incorrectly, one or two of them not going where they're supposed to. And then something that I found out, which by the way I called Hybrid Racing, which I didn't call, I set up an appointment, got a call back about 2 days later, and then trying to figure out why my cluster RPM does not work. And then the temp, I think it's easy. It's just I just have to locate, which I forgot which one I was told. I believe this is the one they told me. I just have to trace it to see the coolant one. And then once I tap into this, because it was the same with the EG, once I tapped into it, I was able to get a reading in the cluster. So once I tap into this, I'll be able to actually see once I connect the coolant temp plug and then wire all that up and see if it works. But I am trying to trace, because I'll probably put it up here for you guys, but from what I've found, according to Hondata, on the ECU and the RSX ECU, you're gonna see 02 to 04 on Echo, pin Echo E, which is this one right here that goes to the ECU. I believe it's pin 26. I'm gonna put it here for you guys. That's where the TAC gets its reading, or yeah, from the ECU all the way to the TAC, or the TAC to the ECU. And then I'll put it here too, which what I found, according to an OBD2 2001 to 2000 Integra on this stock this is from the stock from the actual chassis, connector A, which is this one, a 31 to 32 pin. I forgot, I think it was like pin 19. It should be a blue wire, which I'm not mistaken should be this one. This is your TAC sensor, and this goes on the ECU, so it's essentially the equivalent. So I'm probably gonna have to tap into this, and hopefully, because obviously you guys can see here, it's running back inside, and it's probably going back over there, because obviously I should have, there's no way going back, because I'm gonna have to take all this out just to see. But most likely that runs directly to that plug or connector down there, and then it probably runs up in there. Only way to know is by doing a continuity check and then seeing if it's connected to this one. But I believe this is the one, and if that's the one, then I'm gonna see. I believe this is the one. If that's the one, then I'm probably gonna tap into it or see tracing it. But I'm just trying to tackle a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. I'm overwhelming myself, and that rust in the back just ruined my whole day. But I'm gonna save the chassis. It's I've done a lot. It's a lot of work that I put into it, and I'm not gonna give up on this chassis. I know, like, if it had way more rust, then obviously I would have given up a long time ago. But when I took the carpet out, I didn't know there was no rust in there. I didn't see no rust at the bottom. It was like crazy. In the bay, nothing. Only that one spot up there that I've noticed. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna see how much it's gonna cost me and bite the bullet. I'll go ahead and put the clutch master cylinder first, and then I'll start tackling this, because I'm trying to take like 3 or 4 things at the same time, and I'm not the Avengers. So yeah, let me go ahead and just do one. So we're wrapping up the video, coming to the end. So progress update, let's see. This is still bugging the crap out of me, but hey, I'm not gonna let it get to me. So yeah, I did a little bit of wiring diagram. I still have to find out for that one. It's if I can't figure it out, or I feel like because the thing is, like, I got a good known one here, but I don't want to take it out, because once I take it out, I risk messing anything up. And the AG is running perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong with it, and I don't want to jinx it. And then obviously the budget one is a waste that did not work whatsoever. So that's a mess right there. And the wire works, but then it has flaws. And one of the flaws it has is, for some reason, it's not reading my RPMs, which it should. And then the other thing is primary to O sensor, AF sensor, it's not reading it either, because it keeps getting this troubleshoot code, like I've been stressing myself. So I've been tracing the wires back and forth, and I think there's 2 wires that are flipped. The last time I flipped the 2 wires, the car didn't want to start, and I thought I fried the ECU. So I'm just so scared, because from looking at it, it seems like those 2 wires are the ones that are leading up to that issue, because I know they run to the relay, and then so there's a wire that's flipped, that's for sure. Something is wrong. It's 2 wires that I narrowed it down to, but I'm just not sure if it's correct or not. And it's just like, and I can't find anything online. And obviously, I need a good known one. And then if I do spend the money on buying one, then what's the point of me trying to fix this one? Something that I'm going to try later on, because I already tried bypassing the RPM, didn't work. With a video that I saw online, it was a waste of time. But I'm going to see if if you see down there, see if I can zoom in that little connector. So that's for the temp gauge to see, but we're gonna start it out at a later time, not right now. And I went ahead and connected that to see. Already did find, as you guys saw, the connector for the signal for the RPM for the tag. So hopefully that works. So yeah, that's the progress that I have so far with this. I'm just trying to save my money because I already own it, but this is a complete waste. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna narrow it down. I mean, there's something you don't obviously want to cheap out on, but then I'll narrow it down to which one is between Hybrid Racing and then Sparks Racing. Those are the only two ones that I actually will trust, and I've ran before. Not the Hybrid Racing one, but I know that they're for a fact theirs. I know Ridewire has theirs too, but I'll stick to the ones that I know. But yeah, that's an update for you guys. Sorry for rambling on that, and I keep repeating myself. We did install the Excetti master clutch, so I have not bled it yet because I need another person to help me. So that's all buttoned up in there, and then I'll have to tweak it at a later time. But yeah, that's already installed. And you guys saw I did paint this, trying to make it a little bit more nice, you know, a little bit more formal, but the rust right there just is ruining everything for me. So now I don't even know if I'm gonna need a new roof. It's not even possible. But hopefully this could get fixed. You know, hopefully they can weld something up. And this is already starting to get rust because I don't have anything to cover it. But hopefully it can get welded or something and then sealed and then painted. But that's going to be for a later time. But yeah, guys, that's going to conclude the video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Don't hesitate down below if you guys have any questions. Follow me on Instagram right here. Don't forget, if you guys are looking for any parts, head on to booboost.com. Save 10% when you check out by inputting boost 10. I'll put the link down below for you guys. And yeah, it's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys. Catch you guys on the next one.